Into battle we go, marching forward into our second series of the day. Beautiful intro there with all those melee creeps led by the Dawnbreaker herself. And Waga, we're heading into an interesting series here. Again, we've got a Div 2 team coming up to play against a Div 1 team.
Yeah, we got one move here against UALEIKUMNIHAO. Quite the name, the greetings name, as we've been calling them. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what these teams can bring here. A lot of faces that, of course, I recognize. It's fun to cast the Eastern European games here because I haven't been, taking a close look on this. But obviously, it's a lot of players that I know from just playing with them. Also, I recognize that Gilgear used to play in a team with Stormstormer in the past, so I used to, follow his games a little bit closer back when he played with Storm, as we were very close. But yeah, gonna see one move here against UALEIKUM. What do you make of it?
Just looking at the history of this, thinking UALEIKUM, coming up from Division 2, they were in a similar boat to Namiga, where they were undefeated apart from losing to Namiga, so they had a real strong run in Div 2. But I think it's always going to be a difficult challenge coming up to Div 1 in Eastern Europe, where there are a very stiff competition. You look at in the previous series, Hydra, they were close to dropping down from Div 1, but they're still a great team. They looked pretty solid in the first series of the day, and I think one move is no difference. They have surprised us with victories, against Team Spirit and BetBoom, and looking solid, and they've got some incredible players. I'm always looking at Einkrad, Munkushi, just pulling out some wild Monkey King or something like that, Queens of Pain, to try and dominate their lanes. And I think that's something that they've focused on a lot. So it's going to be a challenge, I think, for UALEIKUM to come up to Div 1. Maybe this is the easiest route to start things off. I don't want to call it a warm-up because it's still a tough challenge, but I think when you're these Div 2 teams, looking at our first two series of the day and of 2 or 3, you're kind of happy as Div 2 teams not going up against Team Spirit straight away.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. You don't want to start against the toughest ones. I guess I could make a case for it, if you expect to lose it anyway, you might as well get that loss out. But there's this trend as well that you see, if a team starts losing in DPC, sometimes it just keeps going and you never get that win. So you really want to start out well, the way that Hydra did in previous series here. And let's see how prepared they are coming into this. Obviously, I think that lane domination in this patch is very tricky as well. You mentioned that they like dominating lanes with Munkushi and Einkrad, but nowadays I think mid lane, if you have a highly individually skilled mid player, you can really shine in this patch, more so than previously. Because side laners like to just stay on the side lanes. Due to teleporters, the warp gating between top and bottom, it becomes a lot of play around that. Of course, we still see a 6-minute rotations, but generally, mid is a pretty clean 1v1. It's rarely decided by like a 3-minute gank or something. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it still feels pretty important. As the draft is about to begin, we can get ourselves in shortly, but yeah, super important to be banning out these heroes, like Storm Spirit, who don't necessarily have bad matchups, and they're pretty good in countering out some of the heroes which usually have good matchups. Like Bat Rider always comes to mind, where you think, okay, Storm's going to do well against those kind of heroes, and maybe even just win out in the lane. And then he obviously has that added advantage of being a pseudo-global hero. As the map got bigger and we've got new objectives and this necessity for, maybe not necessity for mid lane heroes, but one of your cores has to be some kind of gap closer or spirit hero, someone who can find backline heroes or start fights on their own.
I mean, mobility in general is just buffed. It's the result of the bigger map. You have all these far distance objectives to play for, and you have a much bigger playing field. It means that heroes that have ways to move around more effectively are being played more. That's why we see stuff like Windrunner and Queen of Pain are quite popular in this patch. They're both highly mobile. We see a ton of heroes, like the Spirit heroes. Obviously, Void Spirit is one of the biggest heroes recently. Even though he got somewhat of a nerf in this patch, he also got somewhat of a buff, so we may still see his face. His laning stage is a bit weaker, but he does scale harder now with the Universal change. Another Universal hero is the Beastmaster. Gets through for the first time. He was first phase banned in the 2 previous games that we cast today. But here he's gonna go through. One move, grab it, and I think Beastmaster is about as clean of an opening hero as you can get, in my opinion. He fits so many drafts. He doesn't really lane poorly against a lot of things. And his attack speed increase really benefits a lot of heroes nowadays that right-click feels so important.
Yeah, and no matter what build you're going for, you're going to have vision through the Hawk. If you go for that Helm build, which we saw a little bit during the Major, and you've got that additional ability just to soft push lanes and keep the map under your control. Curious to see what they go for next. And I guess, like you're saying, it no longer have that Chen Enchantress counter to the Beastmaster anymore with Wild Axe's build straight up.
10
TB Pugna
seconds remaining.
Yeah, they open up with a TB Pugna. TB still, you know, it's one of the
5
most popular
seconds
carries. We've seen Murata as well a lot. She is usually picked as a counter to TB. So I'm interested, are we going to see a Murata response possibly in the even first phase here or later down
Radiant
here?
team back.
Especially against Pugna as well, right?
Oh,
if you
man.
decrypt to try and save, you can just get caught. But okay, we go dirty. We go
Dire
down and dirty
team
with
back.
it. Beast into Tinker. You got Vision, you got Tinker.
Yeah, some nasty stuff.
Great against TB. Tinker's massive magic damage and the miss chance as well. Both really, really great against TB. It's one of the better matchups in Tinker's arsenal. Playing it against
10
TB is very
seconds
nice.
remaining.
But yeah, I think even though you're revealing 2
5
cores here, I
seconds
like this
remaining.
opening from 1 move against UALEIKUM here.
Yeah, and this is just a continuation from last tour where we had this Bounty Hunter Tinker, Beastmaster Tinker. Eastern Europe was all about the Tinker at the tail end of Tour 2. And we saw that bleed a little bit into the Major as well, of course, with Kiyotaka on 9 Pandas pulling it out in a couple of the games. He's
Radiant
definitely
team back.
the best, if not, top 3 Tinker players in the world.
Yeah, he plays a crazy Tinker for sure. And yeah, that game definitely displayed a lot. That was a very
team
powerful
back.
carry game. You need to think about Tinker when you see it this early in the draft and consider, how do we address this hero if the game doesn't close out early? Normally when you play Terrorblade, you don't really want to go super early game anyway. You can't take it late. So Tinker can be a reaction to TB in many ways because late
10
game Tinker
seconds
thrives.
remaining.
What you want against the Tinker is
5
good
seconds
lockdown
remaining.
tools that do not care that he has a BKB. Unfortunately, one of those is already snatched away. The Beastmaster was picked by 1 move. But he would be a great hero. Otherwise, you can think about Clockwork as a good hero to have both Vision and a
Radiant
Hookshot available.
team ban.
But they need stuff that can actually get on top of and grab him. And that's why probably Primal Beast was banned out by 1 move, as Primal Beast can actually grab you even through BKB with his ulti now without talent. That used to be a level 25 talent. He has that for free now. So he's fantastic against
10
such
seconds
survivability.
remaining.
But the game really becomes all about Tinker the moment you see him this early in the
5
draft.
seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
you just need to cover so many bases. Like you said, it's the vision, catch, and kill. There's so many tools you need to throw at the Tinker to try and lock him down. I'll see if they go for that Clockwork, or if they think... Like, the trouble with first phasing a TB is that you now remove all of the core heroes that could potentially, or carry heroes that could potentially do that. Now, we've had in the past Spectre as an element to deal with Tinker, not necessarily a direct hard counter, but you have a Spectre plus a stun, you can scout, find the Tinker in the trees, and hunt him down. Yeah, options start to become a bit more limited for them.
Yeah, it gets a bit more complicated since they already revealed the TB first phase themselves. I mean, Pugna isn't all that terrible against Tinker, though. If you get a nice ward down, it could hit the Tinker, but
Dire team
overall, he doesn't help catch and lock down the Tinker at all. So you're kind of in a situation where 2 of your heroes are pretty countered. They're going to ban out the Batrider on 1 move, which is
Dire
another one of
team
those
pick.
heroes that can actually get on
Radiant
and
team pick.
find the Tinker. And they go for the Clockwork, like I mentioned. The Hookshot is very, very good. So they get themselves some vision. Of course, they ban out the Bounty Hunter as well, so don't want to play against Track plus Tinker. That is never something that you want. It's a horrible matchup.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's pretty
Horrible
disgusting.
combo.
Pretty disgusting. Yeah, we had a number of different
seconds
kinds of bounty
remaining.
hunters. We had like Miero was playing at position 3. We had FNG playing it as 5. We had a bounty go into a number of roles. And alongside the Batrider ban, the Storm first ban, also adding into this kind of blocking
he would
out
be
heroes
great.
against the Tinker. He would have been great.
Yeah, he would be a hero that you can go. You can still go for some of the other spirits. It's not terrible to have the Void Spirit against it. It does provide some form of catch. Doesn't have the best abilities, but it's not terrible. But yeah, what we're really seeing 1 move do is take away all these BKB piercing counters, right? They banned out, even in the first phase, they banned out the Doom themselves, Primal Beast, and Lasso from Batrider. They get rid of so many of the good things, so they're making the game as friendly as possible to Tinker here, so he should have a good time. Also, I would say buff to Tinker in this patch. Actually, nobody likes to hear that. A buff to Tinker this patch is that stacking is now more incentivized. And Tinker really likes those ancient stacks. And he can clear them with laser to allow his team to farm.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, Beastmaster as well. You can stack multiple camps across the jungle. And Maiden and Mirana now picked up by one move. So looking at like a Mirana Beastmaster off lane, Maiden +1 in the safe lane.
10
Having
seconds
that mana regen aura for Beastmaster and Tinker is going to feel really good, give them that uptime when they're permanently on the map and continually fighting. As they go for Queen of Pain, I was starting to wonder about like a Puck or something to add that bit of control. But yeah, you start to worry about, you know, laning stage and transitioning out of it. Queen of Pain can do a bit of a better job.
Queen is very popular right now. She's fantastic ever since her Aghanims buff. They made it so that the Aghanims always targets the hero that the screen comes out from when you Shadow Strike, and the Shadow Strike ends. The screen hits the target themselves. So we've seen a lot of Queen of Pain. And as a Queen enthusiast myself as well, I've tried the Aghanims plenty of times, and it feels great now, so it's understandable. Doesn't really address Tinker in the best way, but it is a high mobility mid-hero, and that's what you want. You can get on top, so if Clock leads, Queen can follow and get on the Tinker. She can also easily itemize a Hex later down the road. So I think it makes sense the way they're drafting. On the side of one move, though, I also like what they're doing. They're addressing the Terrorblade. So by picking both Mirana and CM, two supports that have a lot of magic damage to dish out, on top of having Arrow into the Hawk's vision sometimes, you know, can lead for a nice initiation. But CM brings so much clear for all those illusions. Sometimes you can just pop the CM ulti and TB can't kill you. It takes too long. The +20 armor and all the illusions kind of tick down.
Yeah, you get so tanky. I remember the amount of times we've seen just Crystal Maiden hiding in the fog, solo killing multiple core heroes with one ulti. Can often feel very good. We're looking for an offlane hero now. Enigma and Underlord, the two bans of choice. Now leaving not too many heroes in the pool remaining. Oh, we need a carry now for Munkushi as well. So PL banned, and he doesn't know what lane matchup he's going to be into, right?
No, he's not sure. They're waiting for their offlane as well, right? So it's tricky, but they have so much set up here. You could pick... I mean, you could even go back for a hero that hasn't been banned here. You could go back for the Medusa. She's still there. Wow. She was nerfed, but yeah.
Completely forgot about her.
Yeah, I mean, she slipped all the way through the picks here, and she still is very strong. Her win rate, I believe, has not like plummeted after the nerf. It was not completely devastating, but it would work. It's the type of hard carry you could have with Tinker creating space around you.
Dire team pick.
No Jug Maiden. It's going to be the CK Maiden combo.
Okay, that's an old school combo right there. The CK Maiden, and also CK did get some nice buffs in the patch, so a little bit stronger now. And all lifesteal is also buffed versus creeps now. Some lifesteal for CK to sustain himself too.
Yeah, that's a killer threat lane there.
5
Maiden
seconds
CK, a lot of damage. And now you start to get a little bit worried, you know, do we put the Clockwork as the 4, have the Pugna as the safe lane support? As we saw in the previous series, you know, the argument of Clockwork with the Metamorphosis, you can play aggressively around that, and you're a tanky body to save your TB. But if you have Pugna in that lane against CK Maiden, he's going to feed a bit.
He could, but he's also a fast hero. He has that going for him. He's a quick hero, so it can be hard to catch him. But yeah, I mean, one Frostbite and CK will come close enough and pull you, stun you. I think you still run +4 Pugna here. It's tricky, but it comes down to what they're going to pair it up with. A lot of the game kind of hinges on what they decide to do here. I can't see an obvious hero that makes the draft complete.
Dragon Knight? Jump stun?
Yeah. He could work. He could work. Maybe that's what they need. They need something that can still frontline enough that Queen can go diving on the backline. I think DK could work.
I mean, are there any obvious aura carriers that we're missing here?
I mean, every hero can be an aura carrier. I'm thinking maybe Darkseer?
Okay.
Could be a hero for them.
Oh.
They go
Now
Tides.
select
That's
Oh,
fair.
watermelon.
Tide matches really well against the CK Crystal Maiden stuff, but yeah, it's. I'm still gonna be on one move side here after the draft. I think it looks disgusting. The Tinker, as per usual, you know. And if you count stunts on the side of UALEIKUMNIHAO, they only have, well, Clockwork is a lot of stunts, right? But then they have Ravage, and that's it. That's their base stun kit. And it can be very tricky to play these super low stun lineups, whereas on the side of one move, they have a ton of disables.
Yeah, it feels very, very centered around, you know, big hits from UALEIKUMNIHAO, right? They want these big team fights around the TB meta with Ravage and Sonic Wave. I think they'll have some struggles in that mid game if things get a little scrappy and messy. You know, you've got Mirana, Beastmaster, Maiden playing with vision, playing with great starting stuns to control people for 15 seconds through a raw arrow and a frostbite. Yeah, the biggest thing is going to be like not giving up ground. Hit good solid lanes. Make sure that you don't get run over with this Tinker just falling away. Getting to
I think
his...
a lot comes down to Beastmaster. Like if they shut down Beastmaster's game a little bit, so he doesn't get going and take all those towers around Beastmaster's aura push, then maybe they can actually play on the field, let Queen of Pain have the space that she needs to be active. And a lot of it comes down to rune control as well. Both Tinker and Queen are heroes that play really well with power runes, especially Queen.
Well, before we jump into it, game on coming up after a quick video from EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
And away we go, game one here in this best of three. UALEIKUMNIHAO coming up from Division 2. And of course, one move kind of scraping their way through the relegation zone and staying in Div 1. So it should be another close fought series we hope for anyway. And for now, both teams dodging each other. And I always like the player cam, seeing what they're all up to. Very focused faces.
30 seconds
I love
to
it.
battle.
I mean, the focus face when playing Dota is something you just get, You sit there and there's too many things to calculate, how you look or how your face is. I always look dumb as hell, man, when I play, but that's how you know you're in the game, you're in the zone.
Resting Dota face.
Yeah.
Your
Oh, God.
Yeah, default face.
But
runes might get contested here by one move. They've got
battle
high ground vision on
begins.
Dark side of the river. 4 heroes down here. I'll take them all.
2-for-2 splits, nothing too fancy here, an even and fair start. A fair game in game one here, I want a clean fight, Garrett.
Yeah. Level playing field, clean fight, no messing around. But what are these guys up to? Gilgear and Pantomime, they are hunting. And CK starting, but not a long stun there from his Chaos
They
Ball.
gotta get out now.
They don't get the arrow connection, and now Gilgear in a spot of bother. Blood grenade thrown on him. Leather Blaster's there, and first blood for the Pugner.
All that just because they didn't really get the combo. They led with the CK stun, but it's a 1 to 1.75 second stun. So you gotta be really close as a Mirana or even pre-fire the arrow if you're gonna do it into that combo. So a little bit off the mark there, and that's gonna be a good start. You were worried that Pugna might become food, might be feeding, but he's actually dodging the lane entirely. It's gonna be Clockwork down here.
Yeah, sending Pugner back up the top. I was wondering for a second, like, are they going to try lane? But of course, with the twin gates, you can very quickly get back up to the other lane.
I've seen a lot of that actually, like starting out semi-tri lane and then swapping. You can like stay for one creep or even pressure, and then you can just gate away. If there's a particular hero you really want to shut down, you can put that extra bit of hate on them.
Yeah, funnily enough, it used to be against Terrorblades that people would do that, right? You'd try lane, kill him with the first Metamorphosis, and waste his time, his cooldown. None of that here from one move, though. And a quick little half pull from the Pugner, going to set things up nicely. Just need to make sure Palantimos is farming safely under his tower. Oh, we take a quick look in that mid lane. Tinker against Queen of Pain. Tinker already 7 and 3.
So they picked Queen into Tinker, and I played that matchup, I think, was it yesterday or today? Well, I play a lot of Queen, and there are too many Tinker pickers in this world, Gareth. So I don't really like this matchup, but I wonder if Chira Jr. just enjoys the matchup or if he has some secret that I don't know about. We'll see how this goes. I think Tinker is perfectly happy in this matchup.
Yeah, looks like he's having a great time. Now, I guess Queen of Pain has the slight advantage controlling runes and getting a level in Blink at like level 4. But
Yeah.
early days, first couple of waves, Tinker having a great time.
Yeah, maybe, but for now he's in a little bit of a weird spot where he has these creeps following him, and Queen is gonna keep spamming the Shadow Strike. So, so far, good job by Chira, how he's playing this.
Getting what he can. Is this the regular build for all Queens of Pain now? 2 points in Dagger, 1 in Scream?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's always, unless you're against like Legion mid or something, you do max out the Dagger. Oh, very close to getting a kill here. Arrow gonna stop the TB.
Yeah, I mean, Gilga. Oh, having to pop some stick charges there. I got what, a couple of tangos between them. Afterlife with 10-1 charges.
Bottom lane, Beksan trying to run away here. There's another CK stun as well if they need it. May be needed here.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pop his one to get this kill. Cancel the salve as well, so a bit of wasted gold there.
That's a lot of time though. Tide is just smiling, you know, he's like solo laning over there. They had to run so far to get that kill, and Tide is allowed to just stand and see us.
Yeah, here's level 3. Second point in Anchor Smash, gonna give him even better time against the CK.
Honestly, sending the Pugna top was a genius move over having him bottom, because he matches so well against these two heroes. He's working really hard with his right click here on this lane, and TB is enjoying really nice free farm from this zone that he's doing.
Yeah, he's killing off this Mirana. Gilga feeling a little sad with the way this is all going. Usually it's the Mirana's job to be up in the face of the opponents clicking them, but yeah, you're right with the Pugna movement speed, right click attack damage.
It's because she has -5 base damage now, right? the change. She does scale later, but her initial damage was decreased in the C patch.
Oh, Afterlife. Gonna have to pop his full wand. And Reflection, such a great zoning tool as well. Do lose out on the courier. Gilga snipes it. Went on a bit of a journey to try and catch up to the Pugna.
So he's not going for the Vanguard in Afterlife, and he's going for the Dominator still here. Could have seen the Vanguard into like Aghanim's build. In trouble.
Oh. Sliced down. Crystal Maiden does help out the CK get a kill bottom. I don't know if they can finish the clockwork here. They're definitely going to piss him off and send him back to the tier 1. They do have a stun and a bit more damage from the CK, and Maiden, he traps himself in the cogs. Monkushi under tower, taking a lot of hits. That'll be okay.
This is where you wish your queen was able to actually TP, but there's a lot of resources being traded on mid between the harassment going back and forth. I have to pause this here on a nice laser going to the queen. As I say that, yeah, look at the resources on mid. Like, both of them are so low HP and mana, so obviously for her to come down there and punish the CK, it's just not going to happen right now.
Yeah, impossibility, really. Need to wait for that a 6-minute rune or something and then think about the transition. Yeah, how so many of these mid lane matchups, we see them sat around 200 HP, close to death.
Yeah, but that becomes... I think that's the result of people playing more on the side lanes now, and mid being less ganked. That's when you see mid laners start really getting more brave to play to the limits, right? Previously, as a mid player, I had to sit back and like chill and respect that, oh, maybe I'm getting ganked by a Tusk or something. Now, you just push yourself against your opponent. Like, you read his 1v1 kill threat and maybe a TP gank, but you don't expect anyone to walk behind you. And if you're Radiant, look at that cliff wall below Radiant. Like, you can't gank there. It's really ridiculous.
Yeah.
Radiant actually has a massive advantage on mid based on that.
Yeah, I remember in previous patches watching a bunch of Nisha replays, and like he'd be on like 30-40% health and walk to Fountain. Like, he would legit just walk Fountain, TP back out because he didn't want to die.
Yeah.
Tidehunter super happy in that bottom lane. Got so much staying power now with Bracer, Wand. Looks like he's going to be going into Phase Boot, Soul Ring. No fast auras for him.
Yeah, kind of skipping on the aura items for now, but still gonna get a lot of tankiness and stats for laning stage is what he's prioritizing right now. Oh, Beksan was spotted between tier 1 and tier 2 mid, dropping that ward. The range creep started hitting him, so a little bit awkward for him now.
Yeah, the rogue range creep. I sees him traveling.
He's having a hard game here on Clockwork. I mean, Tide is doing great, but this clock is only level 2, like flat level 2 right now.
It feels like, yeah, very much they picked him, like you said, to be a contender against the Tinker and a way to deal with him. When Tide and Pugna just slay the CK down bottom. Pugna comes through the portal, gonna go back through it again to top, placing some nice vision on his way through.
Yeah, those are the portal teleport ganks that are so hard to... I mean, mid players are more aggressive, but side laners have to be more careful now, and mid lane also needs to be careful as Clockwork. He may only be level 2, but he has that battery.
Yeah, trapping Tinker inside and a Sonic Wave to secure it. Arrow does hit the Queen of Pain. She's got Fairy Fire and Blink, so I don't think she's in any real danger there. As the Crystal Maiden and Mirana both came across. And look at the clock. 10 minutes to go. 7-minute mark coming up. And Pugna already in position.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, and look how people are moving for it. Even Gilgir is like trying to get across on his Mirana. Obviously he had to go mid to try and react, but people are really playing towards these Wisdom runes now because they are so much more important than previous patch. It's double for Dire.
Yeah, what, 280 XP? That's a level, basically.
I mean, Clockwork was level 2
Wisdom
when
runes.
Mirana was level 3, and now he's level 4 when she's level 3.5.
Yeah. Ah, great acceleration. Ah, great showing here by the Diet. Bit of a scramble from Gilgir and Pantanum. They're really trying to pair up this Mirana Maiden, get the combo going. Tide Hunter is not the easiest kill. Quite tanky, has the chainmail, so plenty of bonus armor. Well, chain stun him up, but he's got Kraken Shell level 2, and you just see how difficult it is to bring him
Just
down.
walking.
He doesn't care.
Half HP remaining. That watermelon thick.
Yeah.
He's not going down that easily.
So now what do the supports do? Like, okay, we ganked bottom, Chaos Knight, bye. We're going to leave you
Job's
alone
done.
and head mid. And then look at the reaction. They bring Palantimos in here. The Maiden and Mirana just like, okay, well, we did what we could to try and help you, but you're dead anyway.
That's such a nice move to move over the carry as well, because now you can transition that gank into a fast tier 1 tower push. So he's gonna stay, he's gonna use his metamorphosis to slay this tower as well really fast. And CK is in an awkward position here. Does he TP back bottom? Can you even? Does he go top to Beastmaster? Like, what do you even do when you respawn here?
Yeah, Beastmaster's probably saying, hey, I need this lane. I want to hit level 6. I want my Roar, and then we can start playing together. And in the mid lane, they're trying to go on the Queen of Pain again with this Maiden Mirana. Tinker spouting out some rockets. Not too much can be done. They whittle away at the clock and the quap, but nice dodge there with a blink. Yeah, it feels like
End of the
Radiant
day, he's just running back down on bottom lane was the solution. So keeps his TP available and doesn't waste it. But oh my god, have you seen these stacks by the way? That is a lot. They're getting huge by now.
Yeah, level 3 Wild Axes. Beastmaster can clear through them pretty quickly.
Yeah, the Tinker almost has Blink ready as well on mid lane.
I mean, is this a situation where you're going to slow things down as one move, or do you just want to keep running your supports at the enemy to try and unsettle them?
I think you gotta play around the triangle now because they were just spotted here by Pugna. So maybe you need to go and try and get rid of him. He's already stealing a little bit and leeching a lot of experience as the creeps are dying here.
Oh, he goes another one down. He's level 6 on this Pugna. Roared up an arrow and get rid of the pest. This nasty little green skeleton man will finally die. So the, like you say, guard their stacks. Might get the D-ward as well.
That was a lot of hate though, and now they're really low resources. In comes the Queen with the Clockwork.
I'd love to have a hook shot there. Maybe an opportunity to go, but yet to hit level 5. That's all space for TB now. Right at the top of the net worth, 5k for him.
TB maxed out illusions. Look how aggressive he's moving though. He's like going for this tower, almost looking like he wants to go under and farm the enemy ancients here.
Yeah, forcing a reaction already. Gilgir has to come back up here.
Gareth is being spotted by a hawk here on his Tide Hunter. Doesn't have Ravage, by the way. He's level 7, but
no save point either, right?
no, he has skilled out everything. So this is more of a threatening move. He's standing here pretending to have Ravage.
The threat of the Ravage.
Yeah.
More dangerous than the Ravage itself. And Gilgir's leaping out of that. Yeah, 5-man rally around your TV moment here for the Dire. 11 minutes in. They're really sticking it to one move, who still need a lot of time for the CK to build back up. Tinker needs to get into his second item, which is usually this Blink Soul Ring Shivas, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's normally the builds. You skip the Soul Ring until you have the Blink Dagger, and then straight into Shivas. And you get a lot of armor and some farming speed as well from that Shivas active.
Well, we finally got the D-Ward up in that Ancients area. Pugna and Clockwork sticking around. Desperately need level 6 on Clock. I'd just love to see him go, get a lane, farm a neutral camp, something. That hook shot, vitally important for you to start your fights.
Pugna is being such a nuisance.
Yeah, a bit of deja vu here, though. Frostbite into Arrow. No roar this time. Okay, there it is.
Yep.
They'll roar him and kill him. A killing spree for Maiden. Now the Clockwork in a bit of trouble, too. Raindrops and Magic Stick keeping him alive for now. And Palantimos will slow them with a rhythm. Flexion.
Stream the skeletons away.
Keep him at bay.
I mean, he is slowing down their speed of taking the camp, but he's also kind of just adding extra, right? He's dying, and every death for Pugna even is like 500 gold. Vexan gonna go down.
Yeah, and a Frostbite on this
Queen.
Queen of Pain. Danger. Oh, no blink. She blinked in aggressively, stuck in the freezing field and killed off. A gift from the Knight. Absolutely right from that Mirana. Handed to them. A couple of kills.
That's Pantoman. He was just in good, or Pantoman. He was just in good positioning there, and Frostbite is a super good tool for shutting down Queen if she blinks like that. He's gonna find another.
With an arrow combo. Yeah, it is this support duo. Looked a little bit sad in the first few minutes, but now they're pairing up beautifully, allowing the Chaos Knight to react and come in here for a kill himself.
You didn't know
It's actually Pantomime who's dominating, getting all the last hits.
Hell yeah. Queen of Pain, or Queen of Pain step aside. It's time for Crystal Maiden to be the real magic spellcaster here. And that puts her at top net worth of all the supports as well. She's 2.9k gold. Pretty farmed for minute 13 CM. And she got the buffed Seeds of Serenity as her neutral item. It now has health regen tied into it as well.
Hell yes. So with Tranquils.
Yeah,
Tranquils and Seeds of Serenity. She was a walking fountain. Never needs to go home.
it's actually so buffed. You know, I used to look at Seeds of Serenity like it's awful. Now I'm making a double take like it is. Maybe this is good on like +3 even or something. You get this?
Move
That's
over,
nice.
Tumbler's Toy and Faded Brooch. It's time
Honestly.
for the Seeds of Serenity.
It's 150 HP too. That's quite a bit. I don't know. I think they buffed it so many times the last few patches. It's starting to look real good.
What's this Tidehunter up to now?
Taking a pipe.
Going pipe.
Has Ravage, notably.
Finally. Oh, nearly 14 minutes in. Are people ready?
I'm ready, Gareth.
I'm-
See it.
I'm ready. Clockwork's ready. And so's the Beastmaster. Right, mid lane. Queen of Pain nearly dying. Crystal Maiden and Mirana holding hands, and there's a little death squad just roaming around looking for kills. Monkushi gonna swing into mid. Tidehunter and Clockwork gonna create a barrier and make things much more difficult with a good Ravage clipping onto 3 of them. CK dodging Sonic Wave with a Phantasm.
pushed
Gets
away.
himself out of the cogs with a pushback. He's picking himself, said, hey, what happened here? I'm alive.
How is he alive on CK? They are turning this into a quick push though. Don't think too much about what happened. Just immediately try and take the tower. But yeah, that was not really what you wanted there. Some anti-synergy of the heroes.
I mean, they got 400 gold off of that maiden kill for the
Radiant's middle
Terrorblade.
tower has fallen.
That's true. Ah, that's what they were doing. Saving the stack so that TB could collect a CM, the easy killing spree.
A pinata.
Smart. These pro players, man, they're too smart for me these days.
Let that maiden get real fat so we can calm her up.
Radiant's middle tower.
Speaking of real fat, Manta style at minute 14 complete on Terrorblade is pretty damn big as well.
Man, he's a big boy.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And I think they've done a great job of doing exactly what we talked about in the draft, by the way, on the side of UALEIKUM. We said that they should shut down the Beastmaster to slow down the momentum of taking over the map. And Beastmaster is still working on that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and his poor little Warpine Raid is getting chased down by the Tidehunter. Spreading the map real wide here is one move. Just trying to utilize as much space as they possibly can, which is why I guess we've seen this Maiden Mirana Just bounce from lane to lane, try and keep things as open as possible to keep your CK, Tinker, and Beastmaster farming.
You know what? I'm gonna say they are spreading the map and playing a big map and like trying to do stuff. I'm gonna say that's wrong, Gareth. I'll explain why.
Okay.
But we'll see here if this engagement turns into something big. Arrow. Looks like it's just gonna be a little skirmish. Shield rune.
Hook shot in. We'll go for Pantomime. Moonlight Shadow counteract by the dust. Oh, the heal with that life drain, keeping Queen of Pain alive through the freezing field. Super close again.
Hard work there by Pugna. Alright, so finally after all this action and nobody dying, let's go back to... I think they should have played top immediately, because Ravage was on cooldown, Queen of Pain ulti was on cooldown, these big ulti cooldowns, even Meta was on cooldown, right? So technically, the 3 big ultis, if you will, that UALEIKUM are playing around, were all down. And I think that was a chance for one move to make that transition towards tier 1 top, open up the map a bit, get these towers down.
Okay.
Because right now, they're stuck without taking any towers.
That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, I didn't really consider that. Usually I'd just see like 3 cores farming 3 side lanes equals good, usually. But yeah, it makes sense. Not using the window that's opportunity.
It's all timing based. When you play against this lineup that Dire has, they drafted themselves, you know, a very strong 5-man lineup if you use all the abilities correctly. But the downside being that it's like having Black Hole, right? It's great, but it's very, very long downtime, and that's when you should get punished. And I think they got away a little bit scot-free there on their downtime of the ultis.
Next, now they're ready to go again. Traffic lights are all green.
Exactly. So they smoke up. They know. And this, they're doing really well on UALEIKUM. They identified that they can go and rinse, repeat this fighting action around the Queen ulti and Tide Ravage.
That's life. First point of contact. Good hook shot there. Going to bypass all the summons. Oh, plenty damage to kill him off. The rest of one move, they're all gathered mid. 4 heroes surrounding Palantimos, gets the Manta off, turns to the Reflection and the Metamorphosis. The Ravage comes now, catching out Munkushi after the Phantasm. Need a bit of slow and control though. They don't quite have it. Pantomime with the freezing field, the arrow and the stun kills off the TV. Now the Tide is in big trouble. Chiro Jr. Oh, the Sonic Wave doesn't finish off Ironcrad. The Tinker survives. They don't lose a damn hero in the mid lane. Clockwork's gonna get slain and a team wipe for 1 move!
Oh my god.
No.
Tip this maiden right now. This maiden deserves it. The initial contact was really bad for him there. The TB walked into him and he used Manta, and then CK messed up, stunning an illusion instead of the real TB. So it looked really bad to begin with, but CM found the right moment to step in there and get the beautiful ulti that she did. She absolutely just destroyed the fight. Obviously the CK was also doing good damage later on, but all of it was on the back of the control of CM. Even got the Pugna on the high ground.
I mean, those green lights went to red lights pretty damn quickly. My goodness.
And this is bad for UALEIKUM for many reasons, right? But the big one is that you're sort of always feeling like you're on a timer when you're against Tinker. He is maybe the single strongest late game hero from the mid lane, I would say. Like, this hero scales incredibly well as the game progresses. And this is just him getting closer.
Have you seen right-click Zeus?
I can tell you the counter to right-click Zeus if you want.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Lotus Orb. It triggers on every single auto attack and sends back a lightning on every single auto attack. Yeah, I love Lightning Zeus, but it is countered by an item, which is problematic. You have to stop attacking the moment Lotus comes out.
Oh, my dreams are shattered. That's unfortunate.
I do that to people.
Okay, then yeah, I agree. Tinker is the strongest hero from the mid lane. They're gonna catch on the Clockwork. Yeah, very quickly dispatched with, and they're TPing down here.
Queen dodges this, gonna get away, and one move, just looking very solid now with a 7,000 gold lead right now. They're moving towards Roche, realizing this is Radiant. It's daytime, you know, it's time for the Radiant Roche. They have the Helm of the Overlord as well. They can tank for a little bit.
Oh, the Shiva's Guard spam.
I love CK as well. CK is such a cool carry. Just slamming away.
But yeah, like, I think... Oh, are they going to come in for this? Tide gets slowed.
thinking about it.
Arrow behind his backside. Queen of Pain blinks in aggressively. The Ravage is going to clip the CK, but Aegis already grabbed up. Turning onto Pantomim's Maiden, but Palantimos, he's had to disengage and heal back up by the Pugner, but the Decrep makes him die so quickly to the Tinker. Oh, it's just a disaster for them. The Dire have walked into the pit of doom. Around this Roche pit, they'll all die. The Queen of Pain, oh, she's going to have to sprint away, tail between legs, licking her wounds.
Yeah,
Might not be out yet.
She's gonna get away, but I don't think they can take the fight like that. I don't think Queen can use ulti on one CM there. I guess maybe he already saw the fight is completely over. But the moment he commits the ulti for finishing off CM in the corner there, ulti clipping nobody else, like not even close to being able to deal damage with it, I think they have to use all the AoE damage they have to bring down the CK illusions immediately, try and bring down the, you know, the bulk of the fight, let's say, with these big damage spells. But maybe it was just a tough fight to take into the Aegis there. No matter what, you commit on the CK, he just respawns anyway.
And we're getting to the point of no return now. We've been talking about these big ultis for the Dire team, how important it is to be playing around the TB, but you're starting to look at this CK with 3,000, well, I guess when he has Strength Threads, 3,000 HP, Sandra Yasha, he's going to have Shadowblade coming out to him now. Tinker, incredibly tanky. Shard for the Crystal Maiden comes in.
Yeah, that Shard, I mean, we saw what he could do with the ulti before. Now he has 20% more explosions on his ulti. I like that they're explosions. Are they explosions? It sounds like a techies thing, you know? How is it?
Bottom tower has fallen.
Exploding ice. Cracked crystals.
Yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, we're getting to a point where I struggle to see... I mean, I guess the last two fights are just an indication of this, but the Radiant don't lose any heroes. And maybe a Maiden dies, but everyone else is so tanky, they outlast the Ravage, the Sonic Wave. Where's the damage coming from? Does TB have enough in his arsenal here with the Diffusal Blade Manta to...
Dire's middle tower is under
I think the
attack.
Diffusal
1v5?
could have been greedy. Like, maybe he needed to go for, like, either Dragonlance first to tank up a little bit, get a little bit more HP on the illusions and himself, or go for BKB even earlier. Oh, that hook shot. Oh my god. That's a pause timing. A hook, not even connected. That's very...
Does that hit her?
Yeah, it does. It's super fast.
No, is that going to hit her or is it going to go behind her? How big is Maiden's butt?
Nah, I think, yeah, she'll hook her ass.
That right butt cheek. So what's the play then? You've got three heroes here. Maiden isn't alone. Gilga's nearby. Mirana has Mech, Moonlight Shadow.
They commit. They just go there and try and help. Yeah, Mirana will try and save him. You take this fight. Clock will get sold, I think.
Yeah, send down the river all alone.
Can't move.
Unlucky for some. Queen of Pain gonna portal down to bottom, it looks like, try and gather up any farm she can.
I'm unhappy with the Queen not going for the early Aghanims. We've seen a lot of first item Aghanims, Queen of Pains as well, or even first or second with a Witchblade or something build up. But he's just skipping it entirely. I think it's really, really good actually for tons of AoE damage. And that's what they need against the CK. Get more screens out there. Not a fan of the Kaya Sanch Witchblade over this.
Top tower has fallen.
CK, Beastmaster summons. And they're just running down his top lane. Chaos Knight with so many buffs and auras on him. Drums, Solar Crest, Flagbearer Creep, but they're just on to tier 3.
Yeah, he's even getting the Frenzy from the Ancient Thunderhide, giving him attack speed. That thing is full uptime, by the way. It's 8-second duration, 8-second cooldown. Yeah, 75 attack speed.
Pugna tracked back by the Mirana.
Not gonna have full uptime, he's gonna be down.
Yeah, dead for how long? 35 seconds or so?
Exactly.
I'm good at guessing. Did not do the maths.
Now I have to question, how many times have you died as a support, sir? How many?
Yeah,
how have you learned
hit the
this
nail on the
number?
head of that one.
It was like about 35. It was exactly 35, Garrett.
It's one of those things, right? If I was a D&D character, my intelligence would be very low, but my wisdom would be high. I gather information and knowledge through experience.
I see. Wisdom saving throw, we good.
Yep.
Okay, looks like they're gonna just chill here as well. They do have Aegis for high ground pushing still, but no stress, I think, on the side of one move's draft.
Yeah, just chill. Don't need to
Take
make any
control of
rash
the
moves.
area. Drop some nice wards here and control the enemy jungle.
And on the flip side, we need drastic moves from the Dire, right? We need to go and use this Ravage, Sonic Wave. We need a big head-on team fight.
They need to connect on the same targets and have like Radiant clump up somehow. Maybe they can bait that by showing a Clockwork or Tidehunter and hope that the opponent go on them. I think maybe showing Tidehunter would be too obvious, but they need some way to clump up all of one move and then unload their abilities on them.
Well, Aegis is now down, so good a time as any. Arcane Rune bottom. Let's see if they actually go for it. Winnipeg going to try and grab it as the smoke breaks. No vision yet for one move over these Dire heroes. I'll just play the left side, northern side of that mid lane. Signaling out, just pushing to top. And this is the difficulty when you are clumping up as 5, wanting to use your big team fight ultimates. Tinker is one of the best heroes at shoving out side lanes and just keeping that pressure on, so you have to come back and maintain the creep waves.
Yeah, he really is. And even though you have Terrorblades, they're not really pushing the side lanes enough. And yeah, they're just gonna get forced back here. Okay, with that Silver Edge
Dire's top
sneaking
tower
around.
is under attack.
Oh, big arrow.
That illusion ain't going nowhere.
You stay there. Sit down. Oh yeah, the net closes in on them. Line is drawn. CK says no farm for them. Don't let them out of the base.
I love this move they're making now. Even though they have wards in the top part of the jungle on the side of one move, they're taking over the enemy ancients here, which is very, fruitful lands. This is Vinland right here. The east and west is where the big farm is. So take over this area, and then you can control the enemy Wisdom Runes when it's responsible.
Right, really give no chance of a comeback.
Yeah, because now you see if the enemy go and farm their own jungle, you have wards, you will find out when they go there. And you don't even have to worry about playing without vision, because you still have the Hawk.
Yeah.
They prepared for this.
Little pterodactyl guy. I think he saw someone get smoked. Might not have seen the full 5-man. I've got a pretty good idea where they are, though. I mean, Dire have triple observer wards all across this top lane. They're still heading down south.
Yeah. If they're playing tic-tac-toe, then looking good.
Dire's top tower is under
They've already
attack.
won.
Yes, game over. They don't know.
3 in a row.
Why are they not
They're,
conceding?
they're playing Connect 4, not tic-tac-toe. That's why.
Miscommunication.
One more observer ward. Oh, DD Rune.
DJ and CK. Yeah. Could take that and play towards next Roche, or just keep farming. Could push as well. Many options here. I love that Echo Saber now is a dead-end item for CK as well. You can upgrade that to Harpoon as well. He wants the Heart right now, but wouldn't be surprising to see him get a second Reality Rift by adding Harpoon,
Okay, so cool. Like, one of the biggest problems I had with Sven in the last patch was he had a lot of dead-end items, or middling items, like kind of Mom, Echo Saber, and whatever else. Now it feels much nicer. A pretty quick Roche respawn. Let's see if they catch wind of it. Where's he going to be? It's a minute until day, so he's still going to be on that Dire side.
He'll spawn top, but he's gonna pretty quickly move. Oh,
hello.
Jump.
Blink Ravage, Beastmaster caught by the tendrils, but he's so tanky. He gets off his BKB and backs up, and now the turnaround play with the CK. Maiden getting into position for a big freezing field to slow them all down. Palantimos BKB'd up on the Terrorblade, but running back to his base. I'm thankful for the Dire team to not lose a single hero there, but they've busted out 3 of their big teamfight ultis along with a hookshot and Sonic Wave.
Yeah, I mean, Metamorphosis was also used, so in a terrible spot now, because when meta ends, you really have nothing, so there's no way in hell that they can contest Roshan when it's getting up, and one move could even consider going high ground with this.
It's such a chill game. Chill game to play Tinker. Aincrad is just, whatever. I'm doing whatever I wanna.
Yeah, he's having a great time on his Tinker, and that's,
Dire's courier has been
curious because it was a first phase pick Tinker, and still somehow it's against a lineup with only 2 stunners. It's only Clockwork and Tide. So this Tinker pick is getting away pretty unpunished, I feel.
Yeah.
To say the least. And not to say, like, the mid matchup, he didn't really struggle against Queen either.
I did perfectly fine. TP's on the CK, launching these rockets from the trees. Such a devastating situation to be in.
Yep.
Your base is meant to be a safe haven, but it's just really not.
Rockets shouldn't be allowed to touch you in your own base.
Yeah, what's the point in that little, the gate, the defender's gate, if Tinker can just blink over the top of it?
True. The gate is the biggest scam. Nyx can just vendetta and run through it as well.
Oh, can
What?
he?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was he needs the level 25 talent. I think he can do it even without it. Yeah, the gate is a big scam.
Yeah, I mean, jetpack from Clockwork, you leap with Murrow, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Get over the gate. Oh, here's the
I think
second Roshan.
the only good thing about it is that you have some cameras there, you know? You have some vision on the gate. So if someone walks through there, you will see it at least.
Yeah, nice little pathway to your Tormentor as well.
While they're taking Roche, the Tinker is just farming the enemy Ancients as well.
God, he's going to have overwhelmed Blink soon. On top of that Bloodstone, he's finished off. And CK with Aegis, Heart nearly done.
They're looking massive, Gareth.
Yeah, they are. Now hunting with the Queen of Pain. All they need is a stun. She gets off her BKB, but the roar is there.
Yeah.
Beastmaster shuts her down, and she's dead for 50.
Standing next to a CK and a Beastmaster, it's not gonna help you that you get the BKB off.
Yeah,
Go down so fast.
that hurts. Look at the CK. Oh, he's hungry. Double vision for the Radiant down bottom. They saw this TB move across. The scan connect. They know Palantimos is headed down here. TPing back. Okay.
Probably for the best. Not getting found there by the Tinker. Spamming those Shivas. I don't know, this is looking really hard to see an out here for the side of Ualeikum. They need the biggest, like, Ravage into TB right-clicking with meta connection, and I'm not sure how it's gonna happen. TB needs, like, Swift Blink. I don't even think that Butterfly is the right choice here. He's going for Butterfly. I think he needs Swift Blink, and they need to do a lot of damage in the blink of an eye with a Ravage. That's the only way to win the fight, because a long, drawn-out fight, Tinker just dominates it. Over time, all the TB illusions disappear. They just do not exist against Shivas and Rocket Spam.
You're a very optimistic person. Usually that's my job. And now I'm sitting here feeling very pessimistic because I'm looking at this thinking, TB needs splash damage. TB needs a Darks here on his team.
Get
TB
that Battle Fury.
Get that back, yeah. What? Oh, do you remember in Warcraft 3 there was an orb? Was it just splash orb?
I never played Warcraft 3.
Okay.
Sorry. But there was an orb that gave you splash damage in... Oh, wait, Warcraft 3, sorry, I thought you meant World of Warcraft. Yeah, there was an orb in Warcraft 3 that had it. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was the...
Which was... I can't remember which it was. Was it Chaos? The Chaos orb or something?
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Dire's top tower is falling.
The range heroes with splash. None of that in Dota 2. Apart from
Alright.
Dragonlight.
TB is in position. They need to Ravage when TB is close, but...
They need to knock on
Aegis.
just the CK as well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Overwhelming Blink is up as well. It's disgusting amount of minus attack speed as well when he blinks in with Shivas. It's just 100 attack speed gone.
Can't move, can't attack. Can't do anything.
Middle tower is under attack.
A lot here resting on the Clockwork and the Tide. Initiation, be all and end all of this game. Never mind the next team fight. Slowly just losing your buildings. Top lane's gone, mid lane.
Go out with a bang, guys. Don't let it be like this. Find the jump.
The boar is cancelling blinks though. They can't even jump if they wanted to. As
They're on
shot
Tinker.
in, they get on Tinker, and then what? Aincrad BKBs. Doesn't care about anything coming his way. Gonna try and refresh up. Can't blink with the changes though. Continually having damage placed on him. Now he gets
CK.
out of there. What's CK? Oh, CK just hitting buildings, is he?
Doesn't care.
Well, they dust, but they've popped meta. They've used hookshot. They still have Ravage and Sonic Wave.
They're gonna wait out meta and then they're gonna come back in. This is so painful. Right now it feels awful. They might not even wait for it. I don't know if they respect him that much. Silver Edge, break. He missed.
Okay. Well, the Ravage is there now from Shogarat. Onto the CK and onto the Tinker, but the follow through is a little slow. cavalry finally arriving, and Clockwork just gets 2-tapped down by the CK. Palantimos, they called it. GG. It's over. The TV will try and stand his ground, but this is just too much to withstand. They do get a Marauder kill, but look at it go with a freezing field. A double kill for Pantomime to round it all off. And a game 1 victory for 1 move.
Yeah, beautiful fashion here, and they take out game 1. I mean, I hate to see a Tinker Picker win, but this was at least a very clean game from them overall. The entire team, I gotta give my MVP, I think, to even Crystal Maiden here. He finished the game 7, 2, and 12. If you ever played Crystal Maiden, you know it can be pretty hard to stay alive that much. And against a Clockwork, against a Queen, against a lot of threats that can be hard to play against, he somehow found himself deep into the team fight, dropping ultis and, you know, just having fantastic impact. I think they played well overall. But, you know, I want to give the biggest respect to him for what he did this game.
Yeah, things looked like a little dicey, a little shaky. That laning stage where CK got killed a couple of times in lane, got booted out of the bot lane. Great rotations from Pugner, that lane swap with Clock and Pugner swapping. But you pointed it out like 4 minutes in, maybe 3 minutes in, Clockwork didn't have a home. He didn't have a place to be.
No.
You know, sure, in the game overall against the Tinker felt like a good pick, but laning him with a Tide didn't feel great. He was just like roaming around, not really doing stuff. And then when the laning stage broke down, his Maiden Mirana were just going everywhere. They're just migrating across the map, causing havoc.
Yeah, they were playing under Hawk a lot, the Beastmaster providing vision, and then the Maiden and Maiden and Mirana were making moves, and Tinker was like behind it, and CK was somewhere off farming, you know, getting big. They all seemed like they had a clear purpose, what they were going to do in this game. They played towards it, and they dismantled this draft from UALEIKUMNIHAO pretty effectively in this game.
They sure did. Well, we'll see if one of our Div 2 teams can take a game today, or if we'll have, you know, a couple of 2-0s against these currently Div 1 teams. We'll have a quick break. Game 2 coming your way right after this.